What's going on, everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, Jarred Vanderbilt is back. He put on an absolute clinic defensively against the Dallas Mavericks, chasing around Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic. I mean, the guy is just everything, right? It took a while for him to get back. He was excellent in the Thunder game, don't get me wrong, but this was clearly his best defensive display. He was trying to kind of get eased into it. You saw the minute restriction. Darvin Ham was trying to kind of keep him from, hurting yourself because it's tough, right? You miss basically half of the season up to this point, maybe a little more, and you don't get the reps, you don't get your game legs under you, right? And then it just thrusts somebody into that, and then all of a sudden, injuries occur, things happen. I mean, great example, look at Ja Morant, right? It's super unfortunate, right? I wanted to see what Ja would have done this year, what the Grizzlies would have done. But again, when you go from you're not able to do real activities, right? And Ja wasn't injured earlier, but what he was unable to play, right? And so all of a sudden he goes from 0 to 100 and has to ramp up and then jump right into NBA action. He played I don't even think he played 10 games, and then all of a sudden he gets hurt. And he didn't even get hurt in a game. He got hurt in practice. But it's still the ramp up, right? That's why you see many guys will go before they come to the NBA post-injury. They'll go to the G League. And there have even been notable guys. I think Vando is a name that comes to mind that played a couple games in the G League after an injury and stuff, right? It happens. Because you don't want to just thrust guys out there and then they overexert themselves because, they're competitive athletes. They only know how to go 100%, right? So I didn't mind that Darvin Ham was trying to ease Jarred Vanderbilt back into action. I know a lot of people really wanted to see him play more. Oh, you need to start him. You need to do this. I do think now Darvin Ham really needs to consider moving Jarred Vanderbilt into the starting lineup. Right, I really do think that now you're starting to see Jarred Vanderbilt and his ability to play 30 plus minutes. I think you need to get him back into it. Look, I understand the Taurean Prince element completely. And I don't really knock Darvin Ham for wanting to stick with Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince has been very good for the Lakers all season. He's had his bad games, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, he's been one of the most consistent guys for the Lakers, just shooting the three ball. I mean, he had a 2-month stretch where he was our third best player, right? Consistency-wise. Right? So I get you want to reward him. I get that you want to kind of put him in a position of hey, look, we believe in you, we trust you, but Taurean Prince knows the deal. He didn't come here expecting to start and play 36 minutes a game. Right? I think Taurean Prince would be okay and would be able to understand it. I also understand that Lakers' big issues to start games has been offensively. They've really struggled offensively. Darvin Ham kind of took the big swing defensively. Didn't work. Now he's taking the big swing offensively. I just think get back to the balance, get back to the familiarity, get back to the comfort that led you to the conference finals. Give this team real time to gel and mesh, figure things out, right? I think you go with Jarred Vanderbilt in the starting unit. He has shown the abilities. Austin Reeves, especially the way D'Lo's playing right now. And I'm not expecting D'Lo to average 30 a game, but if he could just get to 17 to 20 a game, regularly, I know he's averaging 16 or 17, but if he can just get to basically game in and game out, he's giving you 17 to 20, then I think the Lakers will have enough offense to start the game between D'Lo, Reeves, LeBron, and AD, right? And then you go with Jarred Vanderbilt, you put him on the toughest defensive assignment, and now you're off to the races, personally. But you just are seeing the impact from Jarred Vanderbilt in so many ways, right? He still can't shoot a lick, right? Which I know the question is dude, the guy worked all offseason on his shot. Why hasn't it improved? But you also got to keep in mind, yes, he worked all offseason on his shot and then went to not playing. The one game he got to play in preseason, he shot 2 of 3 from 3. So it looked okay, there's the proof, there's the evidence. And then he gets hurt and he doesn't play. And now he's going from basically nothing to, now he has to get out there. I mean, he's not Klay Thompson. He's not Steph Curry. He's not Kevin Durant. He's not some elite lethal shooter that can miss 30 games and immediately just start lighting it up from three. Right? All of his work shooting-wise in the offseason probably went down the drain as soon as he missed 20 games. So I don't really knock him for that, but he is helping the offense tremendously. And it's something that I talked about, right? I talked about a couple things. One, I said, it would take Jarred Vanderbilt some time to get back into the rhythm, get back into the flow, not shooting-wise, just in general, which it did, right? Because, again, even though he's a defensive specialist, there's still a lot that goes into defense, right? Understanding, timing, getting your legs underneath you, right? Being able to move laterally, right? Being able to just lock in and engage and exert your energy at your target, right? When you haven't had the reps and you haven't had the workouts and you haven't been able to maintain, that level of stamina, right? It's just, there's a lot that goes into it. He's starting to get back into it. You're seeing that. You're seeing the energy, seeing the effort. You're seeing him be able to consistently do that for 30 minutes, which is great, right? Or 26 minutes. He did it for 26 minutes yesterday, right? But, and then offensively, what I talked about is, look, don't underestimate what Jarred Vanderbilt will do on the offensive end, not as necessarily a scorer. I mean, he gave you 7 points yesterday and was 5 of 8. Most of it was from the foul line, 5 of 8. And he's been excellent as like that little backdoor cutter, as just a rim runner, right? But to me, the little gimme points here and there are nice, but the reason he impacts the offensive side of things is because of his hustle, his defense, and his energy, right? He got, last night he had 9 rebounds, I believe 2 of which were offensive, right? Second chance points. But also, even the balls that he doesn't get that are offensive, right? He doesn't actually secure the rebound. He's batting balls out. He's making that extra effort. He's creating turnovers, right? Because teams aren't expecting him to pop out of nowhere and just raise up, try to get the offensive board. So he's trying to bat it away, and you've seen guys like stumble the ball. Those kind of efforts on the offensive and defensive glass, right? Defense isn't complete until you get the rebound. Jarred Vanderbilt's helping in that department. But then also on the defensive side, getting steals, which lead out in transition. The Lakers were running all over Dallas yesterday. All over. They looked like the team they were last year, getting out in transition, being one of the best transition teams in the league. And they haven't been bad, but they're not anywhere close to what they were last year. But Jarred Vanderbilt helps a lot in that. Because again, he's getting deflections. He's getting steals, right? He's pushing the pace, pushing the momentum when he's getting the ball and getting out. He looks more comfortable. One of the things that I wanted Jarred Vanderbilt to work on outside of his shooting, right? I said I wanted him to work on his shooting. I wanted him to work on his hands, right? That was something else. And I wanted him to work on his playmaking and vision, which we're going to touch on here in a minute. And I wanted him to work on just finishing at the rim, right? And so far, we've seen him get more comfortable with his handles, right? His handles, right? Catching the basketball. He's done a better job last year. 90% of the time they were throwing lobs at him, he was just dropping the ball. Done a better job of taking care of the basketball. His handles, getting more comfortable, bringing the ball up, executing with the basketball, right? Leading the break, leading in transition, making plays. His playmaking has been extremely underrated. Extremely underrated. He has been excellent. Even just getting the hockey assist or finding the cutter or the open man. Again, I'm not saying he's Magic Johnson out there, but one of the things that I talked about heavily in the offseason was, can we evolve him into like a Lamar Odom-esque type player where he can lead the break, he can lead in transition. Lamar Odom, it was an alien, right? So I'm not saying Jarred Vanderbilt's going to be as good as Lamar Odom in any stretch, but in the idea of like you get this big, athletic, basically do everything Swiss Army knife type of forward. That's what I want to see and hope that can develop with Jarred Vanderbilt, which is still young. He's 25. There's plenty of room for him to grow and develop. His vision, his playmaking has gotten a lot better, right? Now, as far as finishing at the rim, still needs to work on that a little bit better. Finishing through contact is a big thing. But he'll get there, right? I fully believe in Jarred Vanderbilt continuing to put in the work, putting in the efforts. Lakers got him locked up long term, which is good. It's just he still has a lot of work to do. I'm not saying he's a perfect player now, but if he can develop into like that rim running big, I don't even need him to shoot lights out from three. Can he just get to league average? Can he just be like 34, 35%? League average right now is like 36%, I think, this year. It was like 35%, but it's like now I think it's up to like 36 and a half, something like that. Like if he can just get to like 35, to where teams have to like at least respect it. Can't just leave him wide open, game in and game out, right? That would be perfect. And then if he can continue to work on his handles, I'm not saying he needs to be Steph Curry out there or Kyrie with the basketball, but enough to where he's comfortable. And he looks more comfortable. Like last season, there were times where he'd get out on the break and he just looked like lost or he looked nervous, right? But this year, like even in the Dallas game, he had a possession where he got the steal and he was like running, stops, looks for the point guard, nobody's coming over, so he just takes off. And ends up making a pass and ended up leading to a bucket, right? Like those are the kind of things that I like to see from Jarred Vanderbilt. He looked for, the guard, which is fine, right? And then realize, okay, no one's coming. Let me go handle this myself. I like that. I like to see those types of things. So look, Jarred Vanderbilt, when healthy, is one of, if not the best on-ball defenders in the league. I mean, the numbers back it up. The guy is ridiculous, right? It's just, can he improve on the offensive side, right? But look, the Lakers need him defensively. The Lakers need him desperately defensively. We need last year's Jarred Vanderbilt back, which again, I fully believe he's getting there. If he's not there yet, he's getting there. I mean, he has put on a defensive clinic the last few days. And it's so much ground that he covers. It's not even that he's good defensively or great defensively. It's that he's that, but he covers so much ground. I mean, this dude is a wizard out there. He's on the weak side help, and then he's out at the 3-point line defending the guard, and then the ball gets swung, and he's in the weak side corner, and then he's back to the strong side corner, and then he's back over here, and then he's like under the rim blocking the shot or getting the rebound. Like the guy is just wizardry. It's like he's teleporting out there like he's Goku or something. It's just like, dude, how does he cover so much ground? And he's everywhere. He's fighting over screens, fighting through contact to just get to the defensive guy, blocking shots, creating turnovers, contesting shots. Even if his recovery is just unbelievable. Like Dallas was doing everything they could to just get him off of Luka or get him off of Kyrie. And he was just out there just wheeling and dealing. Man, he held Kyrie to 4 of 16 shooting. Because that was mostly his defensive side most of the game. He did guard Luka sometimes, but also so did Austin Reeves, which wasn't good, right? And look, Austin Reeves was much better defensively last night. But Luka, he had his struggles. A lot of it was just himself. And look, if you look on surface, if you didn't watch the game, you just look at the box scores, you're like, oh man, Luka got 33, 13, 10, 12, 24 from the field. Yeah, he's 2 and 9 from 3-point range. But a lot of it, he just looked out of sorts. I mean, he had just terrible turnovers, making just passes that he usually easily makes. A couple of his shots that he had, those were like Luka shots he was just not making. So part of it was just he didn't look right. But Kyrie was the guy that Jarred Vanderbilt had the assignment on, because Kyrie was the guy that was lighting teams up the last 2 weeks or whatever. Kyrie was on fire. And Jarred Vanderbilt came in and said, okay, well, we're going to put an end to that real quick. Let's slow that down, right? Let's hold Kyrie to a modest 12 points, 4 of 16 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. Jarred Vanderbilt came in, knew the assignment, and held the assignment. But just in general, right? I mean, we know what he's capable of doing. We know what he can do. I mean, he was even on SGA in the Oklahoma City game and was just causing all kinds of havoc for SGA. SGA had 24 points, but on 9 of 19 from the field and 1 of 6 from 3, right? And also Jarred Vanderbilt only played 18 minutes. Jarred Vanderbilt, I mean, he's undeniable. He is. And we need him to get back. We desperately need him to get back to being the Jarred Vanderbilt we know and love. And if he does, watch out. I'm telling you, watch out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think of Jarred Vanderbilt? Think he's back? Think you still need to see a little more, need a couple more games, which I can understand that. How do you feel? Do you think he needs to move in the starting unit? Are you okay with him off the bench for now? Again, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.